Yo, what's going on? This Volcano Beats live from the lab. Cooking up a little bit. Got a little house inspired joint. Was listening to some music earlier. Got me inspired. Came straight to the lab and started working. So yeah, I just wanted to showcase my bass chain on here. Honestly, man, give you a sneak peek of the joint. There's a lot of craziness going on, but what I'm mostly showing is my bass chain. Let me pull up my chain. I got the Waves bass rider in there. Got the Sound Toys decapitator. Probably use this on everything, literally. Next in the chain is the Beat Skills Sample X3. And last but not least is my track spacer. So, the method to my madness, the track spacer is there. Let me close everything up. Well, I'll just go down the line. Bass rider, obviously, you know what the bass rider does. The bass rider keeps the bass from being too overpowering or too low. You know, some notes on a keyboard when you go up and down the octaves, like, it's weird how it's middle octave. I don't know which one. It's louder than the other one. It's crazy. I guess that's probably our ears, man. It's probably human nature. But just using bass rider, I can keep the whole bass signal kind of, it's basically limiting it without adding color by using a limiter or a compressor or whatever. So I like using bass rider. You can use vocal rider. You can use whatever you want, honestly, because this little sensitivity and all that kind of changes. It changes a little bit according to like which one you use in bass rider or vocal rider, but they kind of work. You can use whichever one you got, man. I subscribe to the Waves full bundle, so I got bass rider, but I've had vocal rider since it came out, and I've used it on synths, drums, everything. So I'm just using bass rider because I got it now. But yeah, I'm using bass rider just to keep my bass, basically kill my headroom. I was thinking that when I was making it, I'm like, man, I'm killing all my headroom. Like, I'm just keeping the bass just loud and consistent. All my headroom is gone, but whatever. The bass is like literally the most important part of this joint. So I'm using decapitator to add some texture. We're gonna solo the bass. Let's bypass it. I'm gonna bypass all these joints. Really need to bypass the track spacer or the vocal rider, or the bass rider. But I'm just using the Sound Toys to just add some higher end texture to it, because this bass comes from the Sub 37, the Moog. So everybody know that square wave sub, that square sub oscillator is undefeated. Nothing compares to it. I tried 2 years. I probably bought about 20 cents trying to replicate the subsequent 37 sound, and it can't be done. It's some magic in that square third oscillator, whatever sub oscillator they got. Is magic in that joint. So I'm done. I'm done. I was trying not to buy another one. I had to buy another one. It's right there. I bought it like 3 months ago. So the bass comes from that. So it's already powerful and punchy. So like I said, first in the chain is the the bass rider. But this could have been first in the chain, the track spacer, because I'm using track spacer to make the kick and the bass sit better together. So if you can see the frequencies I'm taking out of the bass from the kick. But if I pull it to the extreme, you'll hear it. You can see it's hitting bass and it's hitting snare because I'm lazy. When I'm banging on the MPC, sometimes I bring the sounds over together. And since you can see it in the track spacer, that the kick and the snap are totally in different realms. So that way it's not knocking any processing I'm doing. If I can just process the top end and process the low end, and it's basically like two different things in one. So that's why you see my bass rider has the my track spacer has that the higher end texture coming through too. That's just because I'm lazy. I'm going to separate them later. But to alleviate that now, I just use the low cut and the high cut features inside of tracks inside of track spacer. And like I say, I'm just really just trying to get so when it punch, I'm not really trying to make it duck like crazy like that. That's making it sound crazy. I'm really just trying to give room for the transients to punch through. So yeah, and I use the high cut to tailor like how much I'm doing on the higher end to say, okay, cool, I only want to cut on the low end. I don't want to cut on the high end because it'd sound crazy if I was cutting the high and the low. And like I say, just a big thing with me is just my laziness. I didn't want to separate the sounds yet. I was making the beats on the MP, bounced it in, and like I say, when I looked at it and I saw that the low end was so, you can see that they totally separated. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna bang it like how it is. So boom. I do it a lot, to be honest. When I'm working on MP or my machine, a lot of the time my drums aren't separated, man. I just leave them together because they might have been going through a plug-in or something that sounds good with them being together. So I just leave it. I just record it in. So going off track a little bit, that track spacer could have been first in the chain. I like the way it sounds with it being last. I don't know why, I just do. I had it first, and it was like, basically it was cleaner than I wanted it to be. If I put it at the end, it's still kind of dirty. It's almost like using auto-tune. It's like the difference in using auto-tune before you clean up the vocal or using it after. If you want your auto-tune to sound dirty, you throw it on before, then clean up the vocal after it. If you want it to be super clean, you clean up the vocal first and then throw it on. So I'm going for more of a dirty sound, so that's why I put it after. So yeah, boom, next in the chain. So technically the track spacer is only cutting frequencies. It's not adding any texture, it's not doing anything. It's just making it so the kick and the bass sits better. So it's really not doing anything. So the chain really is just the decapitator and the sample X, because bass rider is only just keeping the volume consistent without having to be a limiter and adding texture to it. So yeah, on basically the decapitator, I'm just adding some drive, tone brighter because I'm trying to get some high end to punch out a little bit. I'm cutting some high too, because even though I want high end to come through a little bit brighter, I don't want it to feel like it's a synth. So I honestly can cut more than that. I want it to feel like a bass, so I really don't want anything over like 3K, but I do want it to be kind of bright. Anything under 3K, so boom. And I'm still working that mix. So mix is my best friend. I like to take stuff totally away, put it totally in, and just dial it back until I feel like it's at a perfect spot where I can't live without it, basically. Next in the chain is the sample X. It's the cheat code for like drums and bass. I put it down to 12 bits, put my sample rate, like 12 bit is really like 32K, between 30 and 32K on the sample rate side. So I got it like at 30 basically. I didn't do any you use this control if you wanted to, have that SP sound. It's not really doing. I guess I gotta go lower for it to really do it, but I don't really want it no way. Oh my bad, it's not even on. Tweak it. See, now it's getting that texture. I don't really want that in this joint, but I use it sometimes. Just driving my filter a little bit more. I got my filter on, my low pass joint going, and I got a little resonance. I like how the resonance sounds on this, on here, and cause it's 6 different machines. I know the MPC 60 is one of them, the 950, the Roland S550, the E-Max, I think. So I like this C on drum machines. I forgot which one. On the old version, the whole skin switch, so you would know which one you're using. This one, I don't think it does it, but I just go through and just listen to the ones I like. I like C on bass, and then with this bass, so I'm taking all the extra like width and texture away. I brought it down as low as I can. So technically on here, 0 is like 100% width, and then you can go super wide with it if you go all the way up, but I don't want any width. I'm trying to kill. I want it to be straight down the middle. So that's why it's so powerful, honestly. Have it. I call this joint 92, man. It's gonna be on my new project. So yeah, just live from the lab, just showing you a couple of my tools. I got a room full of hardware, but everything still get processed in Ableton. Like I said, I'm probably using the best bass synth ever created, especially for like dance genres, but I'm still adding that texture and that feel on top of it when I get it in the box. So check me out. Back in this man hiatus. I'm back with a vengeance, dropping the joint every 2-3 days now at this point. So just grind, stick with me, ride with me. Let's go. Let's get it going. Well, I'm saving this. I forgot. I'm saving this joint. Let me save this chain. Audio effect, right? Let me throw that in there. If you're an Ableton user, you know how easy this is. Then boom. Let me go and save that. I'm going to save it as 92 bass tone. Make sure I have that little apostrophe right there so I know. Boom. So that's for that. If I'm ever looking for this texture again, there you go.